we last left the coterie chronologically at Donatello's. The Giovanni representative in New York, Donatello Giovanni of the Hecata, is someone that all of you have, by various manners and means, been scheduled to meet. At this point, Raymond Milner and Maria of the Lamier were in his audience. Raymond had just explained that the Tremere were threatening to release some rather clandestine information to the kindred at large regarding the termination of the promise of 1528. Now, dear listeners, you may not be familiar with what the promise is, but to put it in simple terms for any of you who do not, when the Giovanni clan was formed, they were to be hunted mercilessly. They were diablerists. They were killers of their elders. They were exactly the kind of thing the Sabbat were in their formative stages. But unlike the Sabbat, the Giovanni came to an accord with the Camarilla. In the year 1528, they agreed that neither would interfere with each other's business. The Giovanni would be exempt from the jihad. The Camarilla would not be allowed to interfere in Giovanni practices. Mutual disinterest was the order of the day. As long as the Giovanni kept their purge to vampires within their own clan, the Camarilla would not persecute them. Times have changed in the last near half a millennium, especially with the rise of the Second Inquisition, the beckoning calling away so many elders, the anarchs gaining a new bout of strength. The field of politics has changed. The Camarilla is more paranoid, less inclined to let loose clans just run riot doing whatever they want when everyone's existences hang in the balance. And so to come back to that promise of 1528, according to Mason Ha of Clan Tremere in his exchange with Raymond Milner, the promise has a deadline. In 500 years after that promise is formed, it will be waived. And at that point, the Giovanni will be fully subject to any persecution the Camarilla levies at it. Anarchs in the Sabbat can run roughshod over the Giovanni and their broader clan, the Hecata, and the Camarilla will do nothing to stop it. All of a sudden, independence doesn't seem quite so attractive. But it may not be too late. It may not be too late to save the clan, stymie this flow of information. And that was what was on Raymond Milner's mind when he went to Donatello Giovanni. Someone needed to let the big guy know that the Tremere were planning on leaking this information, and that someone in Atlantic City had told the Tremere. Someone, a member of the Hecata, had let loose this very sensitive bit of information. And when there's a breach of trust in the family, the entire family suffers. So that wound needs to be staunched, cauterized, put to sleep. And so to go back to Donatello's club, he's currently staring, unblinking, at Raymond. Occasionally his eyes flick over to Lamier, Maria next to him. And back to Raymond. You're saying the warlocks know about the promise coming to an end?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying.
He chews over his own words. You see his lips working. So here's what we're going to do. Do you have a read on who is leaking this information to our friends in the Warlocks?
Mason Ha mentioned Atlantic City.
There's a handful of us, Hecata, down in Atlantic City. Not too many. He puts his fingers through his thick beard. Someone's gonna have to go down there and sort the problem out. Now look at you, you're just, what, a stockbroker?
Something like that, yes. My job is to make us money and to make sure that it's clean when it comes out the other side. You can call it stockbroking if you like.
Yeah, well, I'll call it that. And this woman with you, what is she? Can you talk?
Yes, I can.
And what are you, his bodyguard or something?
Indeed.
So it sounds like someone in Boston expected something explosive to happen in New York if they sent a Melina with a bodyguard. We're not going to tear this little duo apart. I think you're both going to make your way down to AC. Head down to the Three Bears. There's a casino on the front. You're going to make some introductions. You're there for the money. There's always some money that I need collecting from down in AC. That's what you're going to do. And you're going to find out who the weak link is. You understand that?
We understand it. What do we do when we find out who it is?
Well, I hate to get all Wild West on the subject, but frankly, dead or alive matters very little to me, because once they're dead, we can still talk to them, can't we?
Fair enough. What do you think, Maria? Are you up for this?
Yes. I was assigned to protect you, and so I shall, until I get assigned another mission.
You don't have to sound so enthusiastic about it.
Sorry. It has been a rather short time for an emotional connection, don't you think?
Well, you really know how to hurt a guy, but yeah, fair enough.
You can say all of this for the, he thinks for a second. No, time is short. You're going to take a helicopter down. It won't take more than a few hours. You'll get there before dawn, don't you worry. I'll make sure you land on the casino's helipad. You'll have a room set up. Don't think this is me being generous. This is an important issue. Now, bodyguard lady, you're going to watch this guy's back, and you're going to watch it even closer than you did in this city. Because AC's got all kinds of cats that don't like our clan. There's been some turf wars down there. Some degenerates, Toreador, vying for dominion, and ever since the elders started getting called away and a bunch of us retreated to Venice, but we had to make a show of things, let go of some holdings. Let's say the degenerates are trying to horn in on our act. If they see more of us schmoozing around down there, they may try taking some action. They may think we're invading. So you protect this, Melina. You understand?
Yes, I will lay my undead life on protecting both him and the family's reputation.
Very dutiful. Who bloodbound you? Actually, that's a rude question. I apologize. I imagine you're both parched.
Now that you mention it.
Well, do either of you like to take it cold, or are you both hunter types?
I love a good cold one. Thanks.
Well, that's good. That's fortunate. Because in an establishment like this, we have a small supply that you can avail yourself of. But, lady, if you're going to hunt, I recommend you do so before you go down to AC. Try not to make any waves, and don't go drinking anyone in this club. I don't want the screams. You understand?
Very well.
You can come back here in 30 minutes, sort out your business, make any phone calls you need to, but, and he points his finger at Raymond, don't you go calling the family back in Boston about this. Don't you even dare. This is a New York, New Jersey matter. You understand?
Fine. Yes, I understand.
Once it's all put to bed, then we'll speak to Francis and the rest of them. But for now, we keep it between us. Okay, you two get out of here. I've got some thinking to do.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. We'll be in touch.
As the two of you get up to leave, you can see quite clearly the two kindred who are flanking Donatello, one standing, one sitting. Their eyes never leave you. One looks like he's measuring you up for a coffin. The other just has I guess it's either a grin or a grimace. You're not too sure, but he's not... You don't think he's that pleased, not genuinely, to see you. Donatello is no longer even paying attention. He's picked up the newspaper from down the side of the sofa and is acting nonchalant.
Well, I would say we should leave before we wear out our welcome here too much.
Lead on, Maria. Let's get out of here. Oh, God, this sucks.
You re-enter the club. It's still thriving. Plenty of people schmoozing around. You'd hesitate to say your kind of people, Ray, because, frankly, you prefer to deal with suits. And there's a mixture of suits, dancers, people who are quite clearly mobbed up. It's every worst stereotype you can imagine about the family that embraced yours. And you know there's more to it than this. You know that there's more to it than this facade. But this isn't the kind of place you want to be seen.
Maria, where'd you go? Hello? Maria?
Yes, I am here.
Oh, jeez. You know, when I look around and you're not there, I admit I get a little, Anyway, let's blow this place. We're out of here.
Sounds good to me. I wanted to get a hot one anyway.
It figures. Okay, well, before we go then, now of course you don't need help. What am I talking about?
Not really, no. But, if you need some, I'm always here to back you up.
I'm good, thanks. Why don't I wait for you at the helipad? And you go ranto your canto and meet me there.
A server wheels around on his heel in front of Raymond with a tray, a glass with a doily on top of it, sort of draped slightly over the sides. You can't really see the contents. It says, "Mr. Molina, sir."
Oh, hey, aperitif. This is awesome. Great, thank you.
Yes, with compliments from the house.
Terrific.
He waits with the tray for you to drain the glass and put it back on.
Yeah, I will pick up the glass, swish it around just a bit, inhale the aroma, and have a taste.
It's surprisingly pleasant. It's been spiced with something. You're not entirely sure what. There's a little afterkick. A buzz that hits you right between the eyes. And then it's gone. Nothing since Undeath has ever quite matched up to a high from an actual narcotic. Yes, Vitae tastes great. It gives you chills and feelings like you never experienced when you were alive, but you dabbled in some pretty hard drugs when you were immortal, and sometimes you miss a good line.
Damn. I said damn. Well, my compliments to the chef.
The server nods, takes the glass, wheels off again. As you are making your way to the helipad and Maria is making her way out the door, she gently bumps into Natalie and John, who are standing nearby. Mo gives his nephew an elbow. Hey, the big man's free now. Do you need me to make the introduction?
Nah. I'm good, Uncle. I'm alright. I'm good. I sort of straighten up a little, adjust my hoodie, look to Natalie, look at this new person, briefly, sort of give a nod, and then say, alright then, come on, Natalie, let's go and meet the big man, see what he wants. Is that alright with you?
Who is the big man?
Ah, that would be, Mr. Donatello Giovanni. He's like the big cheese, at least in the city. I think, anyway. A lot of, big cheeses around here. I find it gets a bit confusing sometimes. Although I think, from what I hear...
Giovanni? Did you say?
Yes.
I don't think I should go, maybe.
What? What's the problem?
Just, past things that happened.
What, you done something to annoy the, top brass around here?
Not exactly, no. Maybe he won't recognize me.
Well, I mean, you don't have to come in, but I'd feel a bit worried about just leaving you out here by yourself.
And I was told to follow you anyway, so I suppose.
Yeah, don't worry, I'll do all the talking. You just, watch and listen, and, yeah, then we'll try and get this done as quick as possible, because I don't really know what he's gonna want, but then we've got other stuff to be doing. Like I said, though, there's less big cheeses around here these days, I think. Apparently, we got rid of a lot, at some point. That's what I was told, anyway.
Okay.
Hey, Joey, if you're gonna keep dawdling, I'll occupy your girlfriend. Mo puts his arm around her.
Nah, Uncle, it's alright. Look, she wants to come in. Look, let's go. And I sort of gesture for her to follow quickly.
I try to bend under his arm.
Hey, Frankie, did you see the way she recoiled like she'd seen a ghost? Yeah, I saw it.
Maybe if you took a shower once in a while, it would help.
Oh!
Just saying.
You got claws, more claws than Joey's got.
I wrinkle my nose a little at that comment, and I go to open the door and just sort of give her a nod to follow. And just as we leave one room to go to the other, I whisper, hey, don't worry about Moses, he's an asshole.
It's fine. I've dealt with worse.
A sharp-faced man stands up from the U-shaped sofa, eyes glaring at the both of you. Hey, who the fuck invited you two in here?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, whoa. Sit down, kid. The sharp-faced man sits down. Donatello stands up. Yeah, I had word that, Lil Natalie was in the company of a fucking Puttanesca. Take a seat, both of you. This is gonna be quick.
Once again, I kind of just wrinkle my nose a little at the mention of Puttanesca, but I don't say anything, and I go to quickly sit in the chair.
I sit on the very edge of a couch in the room, looking incredibly uncomfortable.
Hey, Natalie, have you given Sammy a call recently? I hear he's worried sick.
No, I try not to.
Yeah, you and I ain't met before, but Sammy's like second cousin to me, and he does nothing but talk about you.
I'm sure he doesn't.
Well, when family's concerned, we're all concerned. You should give him a call, let him know you're okay.
I don't think that's going to happen, ever.
Well, let me rephrase. You're gonna give him a call and tell him you're okay.
I'm not calling Sammy.
Donatello's eyebrows lift. Well, this isn't starting the way that I would have hoped. You might not know who I am, Natalie. And I know you're some distant relative in the care of one of those fucking walking corpses. But let me be clear. Whatever beef you got with Sammy needs to be laid to rest. You need to have a word with him, you need to hash out your grievances, and once they're done, everyone's gonna be a lot happier. Because right now, the obstacle is you. You have some kind of, I don't know, resentment over what you are now, what he made you. Well, tough shit. We all resent what we made into. None of us choose the family we're made into.
I'm not calling Sammy. Get it into your fat fucking head.
Donatello's eyes blank, and the word that emerges from his mouth is wreathed in power. Sit down and shut up! And you feel it reverberate around the inside of your head. You feel compelled. Now I can make you do this, or you can do it yourself. I'm gonna let you warm up to it, because I'm a nice kind of a guy. But if I find out in a few nights' time you haven't called Sammy, then we're gonna be calling on you. And it doesn't matter if you're in the company of some fucking Puttanesca or some fucked up mortician in the subway. I don't give a shit. The family needs to make good, you need to make good, and if you keep protesting, I'll cut out your fucking tongue.
Why do I have to call Sammy? Is it because he is heartbroken? Because I don't give a shit. He made me this way. I didn't ask for this.
My heart is crying the blues right now for you. You owe it to him because he's more important than you are. Simple as that. Now, before you start shrieking at me again, and believe me, my threat regarding your tongue is quite real. I will cut it out myself if you don't shut the fuck up. I also hear, Joey, you're going by John now, ain't that right?
I've kind of been very quiet this whole time. First of all, quite curious as to what was going on with Natalie and this person called Sammy, and getting really mildly angry at this Donatello guy who I've not really met before. Already, he reminds me of Moses, and already I don't like him. But I keep that, for the moment, under wraps, as I just say, Yeah, Moses says, best to leave the name out of it when out and about.
Oh yeah, there are eyes wide open for people like us right now. I appreciate the good use of a mask. So, John, let's be candid. I understand you did a collection. Just earlier tonight, you came up short. You decided you'd pick up some bricks instead.
That's right. However, if you want me to go back and kill them all, I will. I just thought it was more prudent right now to give you something immediately, rather than a bunch of dead bodies and no product.
Well, there would have been a time that I was pissed off with that kind of decision-making. Money's money. Money talks. Sometimes it's what you need. Good thing is the family is... We've got bulging pockets right now, John, so having a little more product on the street ain't gonna be a bad thing, especially if it can be traced back to some other supplier. So this isn't a thank you, this isn't a well done, but it is a you're in the clear for now.
Sure. Uncle Moses says I'm very lucky.
Oh, well, he knows all about that kind of thing. Now, I didn't just bring the two of you in to berate or to chinwag or whatever the fuck. Something came up about, what? He looks to one of the guys. 10 minutes ago, I guess. Down in Atlantic City. There's some heavy-duty shit taking place down there. John, you're a heavy. We use you for select pursuits. You're gonna go down to Atlantic City with an important person.
Right. To do what?
To bust some heads, as they say.
I let out a very, very quiet sigh, and then I nod. Yeah, sure. Bust some heads.
Listen, I didn't get where I am by being stupid. The guy you're protecting, he's a money man, he's a fat cat. He doesn't know which way to point a gun. The lady that's with him, yeah, she looks like she could be hard in a fight. But I've always found it's better to have two bodyguards than one. You can only look in one direction at one time. 'Cause the loose end is Natalie next to you.
Well, I was told to keep an eye on her. Why doesn't she come along? She can learn how things go and be kept in a good spot.
And who told you to look after her?
Well, I kind of pause.
My sire.
Yeah, there we go. Her sire, Mowbray. And he's higher up than me, so I did as I was told. Right? That's how it works.
Donatello lunges across the table with surprising speed for a man of his bulk, his hand clapping you, John, across the face with enough force to shake some of your teeth loose. You've always heard that unlike most members of the family in high positions, he's always been a little more focused on physicality and brutality than the dark arts. But now you just felt it firsthand. And since when did you follow orders from a cadaver?
I sort of blink a little, feeling that blow, if not for the blood, would have sent me reeling on the floor, but a little bit of the power sort of flows through my face, and it still hurts, but not as badly, I don't think. I sort of spit a little and say, "Hey, do as I'm told. Moses has been telling me lots of new people coming through lately, and we're all one big family. I don't know who's who."
That's what Moses has been saying.
Yeah. But that's also what everyone's been saying, right? Bit of shake-up or something. I don't get told these things. I've only been here a short time, Mr. Giovanni.
Mr. Giovanni, don't forget that. There'll be a time not that long from now that you'll be hearing Giovanni a lot more than you'll be hearing Hecata. Now I know Moses has been putting thoughts in your head, and if a goon like you is just going to take an order to babysit from a stiff, then I guess anyone might. Fair enough, she goes with you. The chopper will fit 4 anyhow. You can make your way there, and if you need to bring back the person you gotta find, I suggest for weight restrictions on the helicopter, you might want to get rid of their arms and legs.
I raise an eyebrow and say, "Wait, you want them brought back? I thought you wanted them taken care of."
Oh, I don't really care either way, but I'll be grateful to have a piece of them.
Right. Sure.
Your Mr. Mowbray, he looks over at Natalie, knows a little more about that kind of thing.
What do you mean?
The importance of ashes, bits of bodies.
Yeah, he knows a lot about that.
So if you respect your sire, as you call him, when you go do what needs to be done to whoever it is that did it, you take a piece of him, you bring it back here, deliver it to me. Deal is done. You get paid. We're all one big happy family.
That's not an issue. I do that all the time.
Oh, you find your confidence all of a sudden. You can chop up a body, but you can't make a phone call.
That's right.
Are the two of you thirsty?
No.
I'm alright.
And so eager to speak. You both spoke over each other. And what about you, Natalie? Do you need a drink?
I don't want any of your blood.
You're not having any of my blood. Well, fine. Point is, you got about 30 minutes, no, now 20 minutes before the helicopter's gonna leave off the roof. I don't recommend feeding in a foreign city. You never know whose territory you might be pissing on. So far be it from me to invite a breach. But if you're gonna fill your stomach, do it out on the street before you get the ride. Okay?
Sure, I'll go and get my things. I travel light.
Bye-bye, Natalie. Don't forget that phone call.
I'm just gonna glare at him, walk out the door.
I sigh a little, make to stand, take a moment to rub where I got smacked in the face.
I think you lost some teeth. I picked them up for you, don't worry. I hand you a handful of teeth.
I actually, as we have left the room, smile a little and say, as I take the teeth, yeah, I don't know, I feel these days, they kind of grow back, don't they? Most of the time.
Yeah, I just keep them for keepsakes. Sometimes I put them on necklaces.
That's,
and hang them from the ceiling at home.
That's kind of creepy, but okay. Hey, you alright?
I'm fine, but you look like a mess.
I'll be fine. I've dealt with assholes like that before, and I'm gonna deal with them in the future as well. They always think they're so big and tough until you actually get them underneath your heel. Anyway, yeah, I thought you coming with might at least get you out of whatever the situation is you got going on. Who the fuck is this Sammy? Idiot.
He's just that. An idiot. Someone I don't want to talk about.
Hey, that's cool. Like, I hate people. Like, making people do things they don't want to do.
I hate people too.
Anyway, I'm gonna go get some stuff from the car. I tend to bring a couple of spare guns, a few bags of something if you need anything.
No, I have my knife. I'll be fine.
Great. Okay, yeah. I'll go get the stuff and then we'll go join up whoever these other people are and, hey, heading out of the city. I actually ain't done that for years, actually.
I can't remember when I was last out of the city. I can't remember when I was in the city.
Right. Well, hey, if all goes well, you never know, maybe Mr. Big Donatello there might fucking lay off you a little, you know? Well, that tends to be how it goes around here. You actually do some shit, people give you some space. At least for a little.
He just needs to die.
Yeah. I actually kind of smile. I kind of find Natalie's comments kind of amusing in a sort of friendly way, so I kind of chuckle a little. And then I go quickly to the car to grab my duffel bag I carry around that has a few essentials, sleeping bag, spare blood pack or two, some extra ammo for the gun. And I will then make my way to the helipad.
What does being a heavy mean?
Huh? Oh.
He called you a heavy. What does that mean?
Means I do the heavy lifting. You know?
Lifting?
Drive the cars, take things to places.
Shoot the people?
Yeah.
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 Okay. I mean, I figured since you are carrying a very large bag full of guns with you.
Well, it's not all guns. I kind of don't... I travel light, you know, I move from place to place. Sometimes I sleep in one hotel, sometimes I sleep in another. You know, not like I have a house anymore.
As you're passing back through the club with your backpack on and carrying your duffel bag beside, Moses and Frankie call out to you. Hey, you going out on a hike there? It looks like he's going on a hike, Mo. It looks like he's... What, are you a bit to LA now to go for a walk? You're going on a hike there, Johnny?
I give them a friendly smile, although it's a friendly smile I always give when I don't actually want to smile at either of these two. Yeah, that's right, going for a little hike.
We're going to kill people.
There's a few people in the club who stop what they're doing to look at you at that point. Moses's face drops. Frankie cuts through the silence with a Did you hear that, Mo? Did you? And Moses looks at him and he stops laughing.
I, on the other hand, smile and go, yeah, that's right, kill people with our funny jokes. No, we're going to, do some stuff for you-know-who, out of town.
Why are they looking at us?
I whisper, not everybody knows everything that goes on around here, you know?
Right. Okay. Did I say something?
No, it's all
Was
good.
it the killing?
Just play along, just play along.
Oh.
Yeah, just gotta go see a cousin about, a shipment of, fancy paintings.
Just shut the fuck up, John. You're in the middle of a club. Moses's voice is cutting through the crowd, and even more people are paying attention to him. Just shut the fuck up, or I will take your jaw.
I smile and nod. Lately, I really have this thing.
I think we should go. We should go.
Oh yeah, we're going. We're going. And a little part of me is kind of amused that as soon as I leave, Moses is gonna get a little telling off himself. Yeah, fucking asshole.
Out on the streets, Maria is currently hunting for a vessel. What kind of feed are you going for, Maria? The night is still relatively young. It's only just gone midnight. There's plenty of people walking around in a high-class part of New York City like this right now. But feeding from someone in the middle of the street isn't exactly prudent, especially given the agony that your bite causes. What is Maria's preferred method?
I like to pound them. Preferably either them not being fully conscious or completely by surprise.
Well, this is a busy place. As I say, lots of walkers, lots of cars, lots of lights. People aren't even that drunk yet. Although you could certainly take your time to look for someone staggering if that's what interests you.
Yes, perhaps in a more quiet alley wouldn't be too bad, I think, to grab a half-drunk, mad, homeless person in a metropolitan city.
Well, New York is known to some vampires as the city of alleys. It seems you can duck around any building and find somewhere that no human has seen for the last decade or so. Certainly the few times you've been here before. As you say, it's been a preference. And lots of screams through the night, although very few screams of pain. There's so many tourists here, whether they're in Manhattan, in the Village, even in Brooklyn, nowhere is safe from the outsider. The screams of joy, of excitement, of, oh wow, did you see that person dressed up as that character, hawking leaflets on a street corner? Yeah, a bite on someone in an alley would probably be concealed by the surrounding noise. So you duck down an alleyway, perhaps hoping to find a vagrant sleeping beside a burning drum, or in a dumpster, or just cuddled up in a sleeping bag. That isn't what you find, however. As you make your way down the alley, and lights dim from the main street, You can hear voices up ahead. Yeah, and I'm saying it'll cost you 20. Look, buddy, I've only got 10. So what can I do? Well, for 10, you ain't getting shit. So move along. Listen, I need this fix. And I'm saying it costs 20 for a hit. You know the prices. You're here every day. You know the prices. If you don't have another $10, steal someone's wallet. I don't give a fuck. But it's going to cost you 20. No discounts. Please. No begging. Move it. And then you hear a, ah! Oh, get off me! Get the fuck off me! No more. I'm not being treated like this anymore. And the sound of what can only be thumping.
Sounds rather promising.
Are you getting closer to see, or are you staying back in the shadows?
I am going to make my way to where this sounds are coming from. Depending on maybe there's just those two people, and if one person is knocked down, maybe I can scare the other person off, or, can just pounce them. They won't see me coming, right?
That's a good idea. You find what's going on is a guy dressed in street clothes has been knocked to the ground by someone who is dressed even worse, very shabbily. And that person is smacking who you assume is a dealer across the face repeatedly with a clenched fist, just left and right, and it's becoming pulpy. The cries of resistance, the pleas for mercy, have stopped in a shower of bruises and blood. They aren't the only two people in the alley. It looks like there was a little bit of a queue of drug users who are waiting to pick up their fix, and there's a guy who is hesitantly sort of wavering. Do I hang around? Do I go for help? Do I just run while the getting is good? Maybe he's going to drop the drugs. And that person sees you, and points over at you, and tries to run in the opposite direction.
I'm already seen, so might as well just step forward.
That's it. That's what you get. That's what you get for treating me like a fucking punk. Spits on the drug dealer, rifles through his pockets, has a handful of baggies. You're not even sure what drug this guy was selling, but he shoves it in his own pocket. He spits on him again. Fuck you.
Not sure I want to have that as my meal now that he spat on it. It's not very nice to spit on my food.
The user turns and jumps when he sees you. Oh, fuck. And, like his predecessor, turns tail to flee down the alley.
But he was the only one who was there, right?
Yeah, the only other person you can see is the guy who is unconscious on the floor. It might make for a quick meal.
Yeah, and I am in a bit of a hurry. Why did he have to spit on him? Alright, shoo, go away. Scat.
The user disappears around a corner. There's a light groan coming from the man laying out on the concrete.
At least you're alive, right?
It's not the first time you've had a tenderized meal.
Nah, I'm just hoping it doesn't scream too much.
His face has been pretty effectively demolished. You should be alright.
I suppose this is my meal ticket then.
Where do you sink your fangs?
Thinking somewhere where it's not that easy to discern. Pulp. His face. It's kind of broken anyway.
You lower your face close to his. If it was a more romantic scene, perhaps to kiss him, except his face is bloody and broken. It looks like a shattered dessert leaking cherry juice. And rather than your lips going down to his skin, it's your teeth grazing against the open wounds. Your teeth, a whole line of sharp, jagged fangs. It's something that afflicts many of the Hecata, these needle teeth. Yours bite in to what was once his cheek. And his body starts convulsing, spasming. He can't enunciate the pain, but his body is certainly reacting. You're familiar with this. You're familiar with having to restrain your victim to feed because there is nothing joyful, nothing pleasurable about the Hecata kiss.
You have listened to an episode of Red Moon Roleplaying where we played The Family, a Cults of the Blood Gods chronicle for Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition. Cults of the Blood Gods is published by our friends at Onyx Path Publishing. Our storyteller was the gentleman gamer Matthew Dawkins, and we were also joined by Jason Carl, Klara Herbøl, and Bianca Savazzi. The music was created by Atrium Carceri, featuring many collaborations with other artists from their label Cryochamber. Check them out at cryochamber.bandcamp.com and their YouTube channel for more amazing dark ambient. If you want more Vampire the Masquerade content, don't miss out on our chronicle No Man is an Island, as well as The Sacrifice for Chicago by Night. We would like to give massive thanks to our champions of the Red Moon, Martin Heuschober, Nastasia Raulerson, Simon Cooper, and David, for their generous support. And we would of course like to thank all of our other patrons. Without your support, the show would not be possible. If you want to support our work, please check us out on Patreon. You can get access to bonus campaigns for Cult Divinity Lost and Coriolis there, as well as get early and raw access to all of our recordings. You can also hear your name read on the show as a champion of the Red Moon, as well as play Cult with us. Most importantly, that support is what keeps the show going, so do check us out there. Thank you again for listening, and see you soon again.